Hey, tune in and let's grow together. The 5 major concepts of a successful, fulfilling life. Idea, concept number 1, philosophy. Philosophy is a chief cornerstone in the foundation of the 5 major pieces to the life puzzle. A major factor in determining how our lives turn out is the way we choose to think. Everything that goes on inside the human mind in the form of thoughts, ideas, and information forms our personal philosophy. Our philosophy then influences our habits and behavior. And this is really where it all begins. How our personal philosophy is formed. Our personal philosophy comes from what we know and from the process of how we came to know all that we currently know. Throughout our lives, we receive input from a multitude of sources. What we know comes from school, friends, associates, media influences, home, the streets. It comes from books and the process of reading, and it comes from listening and observing. The sources of knowledge and information that have contributed to the formation of our current philosophy are virtually unlimited. As adults, all of the new information that comes our way is examined through the filter of our personal philosophy. Those concepts that seem to agree with the conclusions we have already reached are added to our storehouse of knowledge and serve to reinforce our current thinking. Those ideas that seem to contradict our beliefs are usually quickly rejected. We are constantly in the process of checking our pre-existing beliefs for accuracy or confirmation in the light of new information. As we blend the new with the old, the result is either the strengthening of our past beliefs or the broadening of our current philosophy in light of new and valuable information about life and people. The same beliefs that form our personal philosophy also determine our value systems. Our beliefs led us to make certain decisions about what we value to us as human beings. As the day goes by, we choose to do whatever we think is valuable. If someone decides to start his or her day at 5 o'clock each morning in order to take advantage of opportunities that will enable him to provide his family with more of the good things in life, then what is that person really doing? He is doing what his philosophy has taught him is valuable. Conversely, someone who chooses to sleep until noon is also doing what he considers to be valuable. But the result from the 2 different philosophies, from the judgments people make about what is valuable, will be drastically different. We all have our own ideas about the things that affect our lives based on the information we have gathered over the years. Each of us has a personal view about government, education, the economy, our employer, and a host of other issues. What we think about these issues adds to our emerging philosophy and causes us to reach certain conclusions about life and how it operates. These conclusions then lead us to make specific value judgments which determine how we will act on any given day and in any given circumstance. We have all made and will continue to make decisions based upon what we think is valuable. Whether the decisions we are making will lead us toward inevitable success or unavoidable failure depends on the information we have gathered over the years to form our personal philosophy. Personal philosophy is like the set of the cell. In the process of living, the winds of circumstance blow on us all in an unending flow that touches each of our lives. We have all experienced the blowing winds of disappointment, despair, and heartbreak. Why then would each of us in our own individual ship of life, all beginning at the same point with the same intended destination in mind, arrive at such different places at the end of our journey? Have we not all sailed on the same sea? Have we not all been blown by the same winds of circumstances and buffeted by the same turbulent storms of discontent? What guides us to different destinations in life is determined by the way we have chosen to set our cell. The way that each of us thinks makes the major difference in where each of us arrives. The major difference is not circumstance. The major difference is the set of the cell. The circumstance happened to us all. We all have those moments when, in spite of our best plans and efforts, things just seem to fall apart. Challenging circumstances are not events reserved for the poor, the uneducated, the destitute. The rich and the poor have children who get into trouble. The rich and the poor have marital problems. The rich and the poor have the same challenges that can lead to financial ruin and personal despair. In the final analysis, it is not what happens that determines the quality of our lives. It is what we choose to do when we have struggled to set the sail and then discover, after all of our efforts, that the wind has changed direction. When the winds change, we must change. We must struggle to our feet once more and reset the sail in a manner that will steer us toward the destination of our own deliberate choosing. The set of the sail, how we think and how we respond, has a far greater capacity to destroy our lives than any challenges we face. How quickly and reasonably we react to adversity is far more important than the adversity itself. Once we discipline ourselves to understand this, we will finally and willingly conclude that the great challenge of life is to control the process of our own thinking. Learning to reset the sail with the changing winds rather than permitting ourselves to be blown in a direction we did not purposely choose requires the development of a whole new discipline. It involves going to work on establishing a powerful personal philosophy that will help us to influence in a positive way all that we do and all that we think and decide. If we can succeed in this worthy endeavor, the result will be a change in the course of our income, bank account, lifestyle, and relationships, and in how we feel about the things of value as well as the times of challenge. If we can alter the way we perceive, judge, and decide upon the main issues of life, then we could dramatically change our lives. Now, how to develop a powerful, useful philosophy. The greatest influence on what we decide to do with tomorrow's opportunity is not going to be circumstance, but rather what and how we think. The images that we bring in to our imagination. What we think, the conclusions we each reach regarding life's challenges is going to be the sum total of what we have learned until this point in time. The learning process plays a major role in determining our personal philosophy. Over the years, we have all managed to gather up considerable knowledge. We cannot live without the information that surrounds us, making an impact on how we think. The human mind is continually taking pictures and recording the sights and sounds around us. Every experience is etched into the neurons of the brain. Each word, each song, every television program, every conversation, and every book has made an electrical or chemical imprint on our mental computers, your subconscious mind. Each emotion, each thought, each activity in which we have been engaged has created a new circuit in the brain, which is linked to all of the other circuits that already existed. All that has touched our lives has been ineligibly recorded. And all that we know now are is a result of an accumulation of input, which is intricately connected by a delicate combination of chemical and electrical impulses stored in the 3-pound brain. All that has ever happened in and around us is now this uniqueness we call self, the individual human being. How we use all of this information and the way in which we assemble the knowledge we have gathered forms our personal philosophy. The problem is that much of the information we have gathered has resulted in erroneous conclusions about life that can actually block the achievement of our goals. The only way to eliminate these mental barriers is to review, realign, and revise our personal philosophy. The best way to establish a new and powerful personal philosophy is to begin with an objective review of the conclusions we have drawn about life. Any conclusion that is not working for us may actually be working against us. Suppose, for example, a man has decided that his current employer is not paying him enough. His value system, based on years of accumulated information and experience, then says, "That's not fair." This value judgment causes him to take specific steps in retaliation. As a result, he reduces his efforts and does only those things he feels his current paycheck justifies. We all know this guy. There is nothing wrong with his decision, provided his goal is to remain where he is, doing what he is currently doing, and getting paid what he is currently getting paid for the rest of his life. All of our counterproductive beliefs and choices are the result of years of accumulating misinformation. We have simply been around the wrong sources and gathered up the wrong data. The decisions we are making are not wrong based on the information we have. It is the information we have that is causing us to make wrong decisions. Unfortunately, these wrong decisions are leading us further away from rather than closer toward the achievement of our goals. The importance of new information. Since it is virtually impossible to identify and erase all of the misleading information in our mental computers, the only way to change our thinking habits is to input new information. Unless we change what we know, we will continue to believe, decide, and act a manner that is contrary to our best interest. Getting the information that success and happiness require and getting it accurately is essential. Otherwise, we will inevitably drift into ignorance, becoming deluded by our power, our prestige, and our possessions. The question is, where can we get new, accurate, and better ideas and information that will enable us to become more than what we are? Fortunately, there is a wealth of positive information all around us, just waiting to be used. Learn from personal experiences. One of the best ways to expand the dimensions of our knowledge is by conducting a serious review of our past experiences. We all have a university of experience within us. The books lining the shelves of our minds were written and placed there by all that we have experienced since birth. These experiences have suggested to us that there is a right way and a wrong way to everything we do and to every decision that confronts us, as well as to every obstacle that challenges us. One way to learn to do something right is to do something wrong. We learn from failure as well as success. Failure must teach us, or surely success will not reward us. Past failures and errors must prompt us to amend current conduct, or the present and the future will be little more than a duplicate of the past. We all have recorded memories of past deeds and of subsequent rewards or consequences of those deeds. The key is to make the memories of past events our servants, lest the repetition of those events make us their slave. We must labor to make certain that our memories of past experiences, whether good or bad or accurate, if they are to serve us and to make the future better than our past, we must reflect on our past, reliving the moments, pondering the lessons, and refining our current conduct based on the lessons of our personal history. If we have manipulated the truth in the past, if we have tended to blame others rather than ourselves, then we are seeking an escape from reality, and we will be destined to repeat past errors and relive present difficulties.